You probably know me from Love and Hip Hop, but get ready for my story.
Mimi was at a low place in her life when she met Nico.
Mimi Faust was in a relationship with a man named Nico, and the tape between them had leaked, and it depicted them having sex. But what actually happened was that they produced the sex tape willfully and released it.
I would have never in a million years thought she would do a tape, but I understand how she got there. No one wakes up and says, I want to do a sex tape. It's like, this happened, and that led you here, that made you vulnerable, that made you go into a deep depression, that made some guy seem like a god when he comes out of nowhere and has your back and wants to spend all this time with you.
We haven't even gotten to the good stuff.
I know.
We're still rolling.
Wow. Are you okay talking about how the tape that you...
Hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so how did that come about?
Okay.
When Stevie and Mimi broke up in front of the world, she was angry.
Because we have a daughter, let me choose my words. We are currently trying to get on the same page as co-parents. I'm gonna leave it there.
The next person that came along was Nico.
I ran into Nico years ago in New York. After I was on Love and Hip Hop, then we started chopping it up, and then one thing led to another. From season 1, I was probably at the worst possible moment in my life. The things that I was dealing with my daughter's father and the girl that he was with, just the backlash I got from that. It was like getting shot with paint gun pellets. Bing, 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 bing. You just get shot up, bing, 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 bing. With you don't have a shield, you don't have anywhere to hide. You just like, ah. And then you finally have someone to kind of shield you from it. He was like a breath of fresh air at the time. And I was like, you wanna do this with me? You know what I'm saying? And he was so down.
I don't think she saw it at the time, but in my opinion, he swooped in, he saw an opportunity. I've seen Nico around the business for many years. He's always wanted to get down. 2 weeks later, he's living in Atlanta, and now he's in our storyline on the show.
Nico, from what I can recall, was like kind of smooth talker, charismatic, bit of a ladies' man. He was juxtapositioned as her lover and just looked at as like kind of smooth.
Nico on the show, I remember I was rooting for them because I was just consistently rooting for Mimi. I felt so bad what she'd been through with Stevie J, so it seemed like she found someone who made her happy, and that was good.
Absolutely had warning signs, absolutely. Every time I would go to this man's place, he always had a camera on a tripod facing the bed, every time. However, Nico did music, and I would see him from time to time, recording himself doing his music. And I thought it was a little odd, but I ignored it. So one day, he was like, when we make love, it's like art. It's like art, we should record it so we can see it back. It's like magical. I had never, ever, ever recorded myself before. Why I decided to do it with this person, I don't know.
Looking back, Mimi was a perfect candidate for something like this. And I think a lot of women that get in these positions, the backstory is usually the same. There's been sexual abuse or abandonment. So I just need people to look at it differently, that someone who's been victimized will continue to get victimized until they get some kind of help, I mean, the strong, happy, confident Mimi I know now would never be able to be put in that position now, because she's seen the light now. But at the time, look at the timeline. Struggle, gets pregnant, has a baby, gets abandoned, embarrassed on national television. Another guy comes in, swoops in to save the day. And the problem is when you have two people where one person has a pure heart and they're thinking, I'm doing this for you or for us and I'm listening to you, and there's love there, and then you're on some, man, I'll just tell this bitch whatever I gotta tell her to get what I need, I got this. That's the most toxic, dangerous combination.
We recorded ourselves, and after that, maybe a few days later, he was like, yeah, you know, I got a homeboy that you know, is cool with the guy at Vivid. The moment I said okay to let's see what they say, that was it. And I call it pushing the button. Once I pushed that button, there was no getting any of it back.
But unbeknownst to her, he was telling her after he already tried to pitch the tape to people. So it was already out there. And he was putting the tape out to the sleaziest of sites. So it started to grow. And now she's in a weird position where it's gonna get released no matter what at this point. So you can either take control of it and sign on with a company like Vivid, or let the chips fall where they may and you get nothing and you're still gonna have your out there.
A week later, Vivid ends up contacting me and calls me and says, hey, we want to have a face-to-face meeting. We're gonna fly you guys to LA. I didn't know what I was doing. I honestly didn't know. By me saying, yeah, ask them, you see what they say, I didn't know what that meant.
Do you think Vivid took advantage of Mimi?
Hell yeah, Vivid took advantage of Mimi.